What is up, guys? Welcome to Heroes Avenue. My name is Darren, and holy crap, it is freaking hot right now. It's about 90 degrees outside, and it's only 8 o'clock. And yeah, such a crazy day today. But let's get into the news because, of course, DC's Zack Snyder's Justice League is out in the news today. And today we have learned that from Warner Media Entertainment and Director-to-Consumer Chairman Bob Greenblatt. He went on a podcast with Vox.com and talked about the movie budget, talked about Zack Snyder's Justice League budget and how it's going to be more than 30 million. And this is what he said. He says, "It isn't easy as going into a vault and there's a Snyder Cut sitting there to put out. It does not exist. Zack is actually building it, and it's complex, including new visual effect shots. It's a radical rethinking of that movie, and it's complicated and wildly expensive. I'll just say I wish it was just 30 million and stop there. It's an enormous undertaking and very complex." So there's a bunch of things in this quote right here. So first off, the 30 million, that was from the Hollywood Reporter, and we're hearing it from the chairman of Warner Media, and he's saying that this movie is going to be a lot more than 30 million. And that makes a lot of sense to me because it's a lot different. It's night and day. I mean, you got Atlantis scenes, which is wildly expensive, and then you got Dark Side. I'm not sure if we're gonna go to Apocalypse or not, but then you also got Green Lantern as well. If he's definitely in there, they're definitely gonna put some money towards that, and that in itself is expensive as well. And then you got Martian Manhunter, and then you got so much. And I don't even know who's gonna score this movie as well. That's gonna go into that as well, because I'm not sure if they're gonna get I don't know if they're gonna get Junkie XL to come back. That would be really dope. Maybe we might hear that in the coming weeks or months. But we don't even know who's going to be the person that's going to score this film. And there's going to be a lot of different visual effect shots. So another thing in this quote is that he mentions that the Snyder Cut does not exist. Now, we don't know what he means by does not exist, because Zack Snyder himself, he's taken a picture of the cut, and he's also shown something to the Warner execs. So we know something's there. So I'm assuming when he means it does not exist, he could be saying that it's not to its full potential to show a wide audience, where there's visual effects are done, production's done, score's done, everything is done. And so that's probably what he means. Because I'm sure something exists. It's just not a finished version of it. He says it's complicated, widely expensive, and it's an enormous undertaking and very complex. So this is something that Warner Brothers has never done. No studios has done this much for a director's cut. I mean, we've seen those before, but this is like, we've seen this with like the Christopher Reeves movies, right? They released the director's cut decades later. But with this, it's a totally different situation, and this is something that Warner Brothers wasn't planning on doing ever. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this. Another thing that came out today is that HBO Max's content chief, Kevin Riley, he spoke with Business Insider and talked about some of the DC projects that's coming out on the HBO platform, which is coming out tomorrow if you guys haven't subscribed yet. Because, as you know, Doom Patrol is going to be on HBO Max. As well as season 2 of Doom Patrol. And so the interviewer, he pretty much asked him, like, should we expect more DC Universe shows on HBO Max? What's going on? And Kevin Riley, he says, there have been extensive discussions around DCU because DC is such a valuable entity to us, and depth of fandom is so important. So we really want to figure out how we walk this line for fans, where we have deep fan engagement, which is why DCU, DC Universe, was designed and a broader fan engagement. That is evolving, but there were high-end series that DCU produced that felt like budgetarily we could handle from a business model better, and bring along and service that swath of fans. Doom Patrol was a show we identified that had deep love for it, and tucked right into our portfolio. And then down the quote, it says, a HBO Max representative later told Business Insider that there are no current plans for any other DCU shows to move to HBO Max. So we're not gonna see Harley Quinn on there. We're probably not gonna see Stargirl on there as well. I don't think Titan's gonna be there. I don't think it's gonna be there as well. So who knows what's gonna happen with this DC Universe app? I mean, if they do close this app, I'm assuming that just forces all the other shows, the cartoons and the live action shows, to get moved to HBO Max, because that just makes sense, right? And I'm glad that they're putting all the live action DC movies on there. I just wish, I don't know. I'm not really feeling the DC Universe app as much as I was in the beginning, just because I didn't realize how many movies weren't going to be on there. Like, I wish, all the Wonder Woman, Justice League, BVS movies was going to be on DC Universe. I do like the comic book section of that. I love the DC Daily stuff on there as well. That's really cool. I really love how Teen Titans is on, or Young Justice is on there as well, which is really dope. I just wish they pump out more DC originals in DC live actions. And speaking of live action, for HBO Max, the Green Lantern live action series is going to be on HBO Max, and this is what they said about that. So Greg Berlanti, who is producing a Green Lantern series for Max, has done a lot of really quality DC fare for the CW. These will not be that. These will be the next step up in production value. You can expect the highest level of cinematic production values on those shows, and that's the same for the projects we've announced with J.J. Abrams. So Greg Berlanti, he is producer of Arrow, Flash. He overlooks all the DC CW shows, and that is why they're bringing him on to HBO Max. But they're gonna give him more money. They're gonna throw more money at him and make sure the production is on another level. And I'm assuming they're gonna try to fit the tone of HBO Max and not give it that teenage love drama soap opera-ness that CW, Flash, and Arrow has, and Batwoman has. I'm sure none of that's going to be on there. So a lot of money is going to be thrown at this Green Lantern series that I'm super excited for. And I like Greg Berlanti. I think he does great work. I mean, for series, yes, I mean, there are some really corny parts. I mean, that is for the teenage fan base. And he's making those shows cater to the audience, depending on the network he's working for. So can't really blame the guy. That's just how CW is meant to look like. And so if you just switch his tone to HBO Max, which is more adult, with a higher budget, who knows what this Green Lantern movie or series will look like. It just gets me more excited. And then the article talks about how J.J. Abrams is going to be tackling the Justice League Dark project. And he says, yes, he's always loved it. He always felt that there was a lot of opportunity there and an unexplored territory and kind of a pond that he could play in exclusively. So in the past, there was a lot of rumors where J.J. Abrams was going to direct either a Green Lantern movie or a Superman movie. But looks like he just went the other way, and he's going to direct a Justice League Dark movie. And this quote right here, it does not surprise me, because there's a lot he could do with this. And I mean, the general audience doesn't even know what the Justice League Dark is. And I feel like J.J. Abrams just likes to really make use of his creativity and really just use his knowledge to build a world, just like how he did with Star Trek and with like Star Wars. He's really into building these cinematic universes, on a bigger scale, and with a bunch of characters, this ensemble cast, and these characters are very unique and different. And this Justice League Dark I think is right up his alley. So great quote, super short. Not much to say about that though. This article does talk about how Zack Snyder and Deborah Snyder were in talks with HBO Max for the longest time to release the Snydercut, But that's all that stuff we already know. But yeah, this is pretty much it. There's a lot of updates with what's going on with DC right now, which is very positive. I mean, DC has a really bright future ahead of them. We just have to get out of this pandemic so we could see these projects come to life, and get these actors back to work. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think about all this, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys again. Bye.